Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
At last, we'll reveal ourselves to the Jedi with a playable partner for a 4-die start with SOH Maul.
Hey guys, welcome to Dice Commando and the Commando Cast. Super exciting. We have 6 new spoilers from our friends over at Renewed Hope. Remember Redemption coming at the end of this month, and the spoiler train is underway. This cast, we're looking to look at the next 6, which of course includes my boy Maul. Very, very exciting. Everyone, thanks for joining me again today. So I always try to give at least 24 hours. So when another content creator or another individual spoils cards, I try to give 24 hours for them to have time to distribute it, everyone to see it before I jump in. I just think that's kind of the kind thing to do from the content creator space. And we were like right at 24 hours because I am super excited. So the first 3 we're going to look at, Tiny Grimes spoiled them, right? Tiny's back once again. Seems to pop around every new set release, which is awesome. Yeah, he has 3 spoilers, and they're doozies. The 2 characters he has are actually double-sided cards, both of them. So he really got 5 cards. I mean, but not really. But anyway, super excited. So let's get right into this. So you might have thought by the intro that I was going to be focusing on Maul first. I am, but not really. But kind of. You'll see why in a second. So Savage Opress is who we're going to start with. Let's go ahead to card 4A. Savage Opress, loyal sibling, 811 for 9 health. He has it's parallel die, or whatever they're calling it in ARH, of the OG Savage die. 1/1, 3 for 1, plus 2, and a discard. So no resource side, but gotta be honest, I don't really care. And then he has, this is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. Team up 1 Maul. That means that when you play him with Maul, he's a 7/10, which means hash pound, awesome. We can play him with SOH Maul, one of my favorite characters of all time in Star Wars Destiny. Very, very, very exciting. So he does have Guardian, which is really, like, Guardian's really well positioned right now. So he has team up 1, so he's -1 with Maul. Guardian. Power action, discard a card from your hand and spend 3 resources, then flip this character, right? So that's not insignificant, right? So if you are playing him with Big Maul, which I'm going to be, I'll say it right now, there's an excellent chance that's probably going to be my deck for the Release Weekend tournament. We'll plug that here, right? We'll plug it again. But the Release Weekend tournament for Faltering Legions is a high likelihood I'm going to be playing this deck. Question is it fast enough to deal with what we're going to see later? I don't know. But if you do play him with SOH Maul goes down, you can flip the guy to side 4B, which do keep in mind, right? This has point cost, so you can start with it. Savage Opress Dark Acolyte 12, right? So basically, if you look at that, trading 3 resources for 3 health is not bad. This is a 1, a 2 melee, a discard, a special. Still has Guardian. The special is deal 2 damage to character or turn a die to a side joining value of 0. This character has 6 more damage. Do both in any order. Wow. Because, I mean, you're thinking, right, you flip him in-game, he should have damage on him in-game, especially if he's your last character. I don't know. Now, I have to be honest, though, I don't know, like, the fact that he has Guardian, I think you might actually, Guardian and 9 health, like, I think if you're playing, like, if I'm playing Maul, SOH Maul, and this guy, I think you probably go for him first. I think you probably do. Because remember, Big Maul's got 13 points. I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out with how the decks actually develop. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if you just go blast this guy down first and get him off, because like I don't think you want to deal with another potential 12 health. But Either way, we will see. So now we can go to the new Maul, because yes, we do have a new Maul. Fire. Redeemed by Fire Maul. No, it's consumed by Revenge Maul. So 10-13 for 11. With, again, parallel die here. This is the Legacies Maul. So I guess OG Maul in that case. Character Apprentice Sith. Apprentice Sith is important there, right? Actually, I forgot to look at that on Savage. I think Savage is an apprentice. He is. So, yeah, Savage is just an apprentice. But Maul is an apprentice Sith, which is not irrelevant to have that Sith keyword, especially right now. Because of Force Affinity. So after you play an event, place 1 resource on this card. If this character has 7 or more resources on it, spend 2 resources to flip this card into Maul, Conqueror of Mandalore, 13 health, 19, 2 melee, 3 melee, disrupt, discard, and a special for 1. After you play an event, place 1 resource on this card. Power action, play a blue event with an even cost from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1. And the special is gain 2 resources. Okay, so it's basically 2 resources for 1. Or resolve a die. If this character has 7 or more resources on it, you may do both in any order. Now, you don't get any bonus for resolving that die, so I guess it's just a little tempo type deal. But it does let you, right? It's not irrelevant because it was kind of the, right? We saw that a lot. Oh, what was it? It was Padme Bush, right? Was the deck where you could resolve that die out of order, and you could special chain, right, and flip that die, like resolve a focus out of order, and then flip all your other stuff to special to keep the chain going. So for some reason, I don't know where you're getting your focus from necessarily in this deck, but that's what you could do. So you could special resolve the focus to flip other specials and keep going on your special chain, right? That would be the strong move here, right? That's one of the things that made Padme Bush great, right? It was the impulsive play or something like that. But there was another special. Man, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. I'll flash the card up because I actually did a whole episode on it at one point, so I feel bad I can't remember. But either way, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about Maul. Hey guys, just a quick interrupt here. So it's actually been brought to my attention that there's already been a clarification on Maul, Conqueror of Mandalore 3B. His special, gain 2 resources or resolve a die, blah blah blah. That resolve a die actually means that you can resolve any die on the field, right? Your or your opponent's die. So that's actually not technically within the rules how resolve works, right? Resolve, I'm putting it up here. Resolve specifically says that you can only resolve a die that's in your pool. However, I guess because of space concerns, they're planning on just doing a clarification on this to make it work that way. So that does significantly change Maul here. Very significantly change Maul here, especially with like Neiman Mastery and be able to flip into it to be able to resolve your opponent's die. That's a pretty big deal here. So I do apologize I missed that. Like I said, the clarification's coming, I guess. So yeah, with that ruling, that certainly changes a significant part of Maul here. So I want to go back to Consumed by Revenge. So this guy alone, 10-13 for 11, like he in himself, like this is a pretty decent character, I think. Now, after you play an event, place 1 resource on him. I mean, best, right? Flipping him's probably not gonna happen all that often, unless there are other ways to put resources on him, which there may be. Or there's already cards out there that can do that anyway, but like there may be better ways to do that in the set that we just haven't seen yet. So I think it's going to be tough because fundamentally, like, you're probably playing 2 events per round. I mean, like, maybe you're playing 3, but like round 1 probably not. I mean, it could happen, but like I think assuming that you're playing 3 events per round is pretty aggressive for rounds 1 and 2, which means that in most cases, your optimal flip is like a round 3 flip. And like there are times where that might not even happen, depending on what you're playing, or how you're playing, or just how the game goes. So I don't know about the flip, and I have to be honest. Looking at Big Maul, with the fact that Savage has team up, I don't think that I would for sure. I wouldn't play Savage and Maul. Like I'd play Big Maul instead of Conqueror of Mandalore. But having him at 19 is not irrelevant for other 11 pointers. But I still think I like, I mean, again, I'm clearly biased, but I still think I like SOH Maul over here. So, all right, going on to the last of the Tiny Grime spoilers. For 2, your powers are weak. 2-cost event, your spot a Sith or Inquisitor to choose a symbol. Reroll up to 3 of an opponent's dice. For each of these dice showing the chosen symbol, remove it. Otherwise, turn it to a side showing a blank. Worst case scenario, you spend 2 and blank 3 die. You maybe get some removal in there. Maybe, right? But now do note it is even, so it could work with Maul. New Maul, new big Maul, right? There's a lot. Now we have 2 new Mauls, so yeah. So that's okay. It's not bad. It's not quite, it's no Jedi mind trick. And I think that's really kind of the bar, right? It's no Jedi mind trick, but it'll work in a pinch, right? Especially if you need stuff to be on blanks. But remember, we did just see the errata for Unending Hate, where you can only spike 2 blanks anyway. So, and that would cost you 3 resources. It is so. That one is what it is. All right, next we are going into the yellow spoilers, and these guys are doozies. So these guys were spoiled over at the Hyperloops, right? Long time players, forever players in the game. And there's some sexy stuff in here. So let's go right into Dash Rendar, Outer Rim Hotshot. He is 14-17 for 12 health, Scoundrel Pilot, 2 gun, 2 shield, 1 resource, 2 resource, and a blank. Piloting, and then power action, play a yellow card from your hand, giving an ambush. Now that is what everybody's worried about. Let's just go ahead and ignore that for a second. This guy's really pretty good. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, blank, 12 health for 17. This guy's good. He has piloting. And of course, at 17, who do you naturally think of his pairing at? 10-13 Han? Yes, also Scoundrel Pilot. And he actually references him, says, Han Solo, ha, if I'm around, you don't need that guy. You might not need him, but you're going to play him. So, that's the deck that everybody's worried about. Which, goes right into his power action, play a yellow card from your hand, giving an ambush. Now, I've seen a lot of, I don't know what the right word is, but a lot of nervousness around this one. I don't think this is as bad as people think it is. It is certainly not. I saw somebody on the Facebook page relate it, said, oh yeah, this worked out great when we did it for Sabine, and this is not the same thing. Sabine had recursion. The better comparison out there is actually Cad Bane from EAW Empire at War, the same set. That's the better comparison, and even then it's a little harder, right? Because you remember ambush as a keyword doesn't stack. So like instigate, for example, you pay 1, activate a character with ambush. That doesn't stack, so you can't ambush. So instigate itself would still only give you ambush, right? So the only cards that are potentially a problem here are cards that activate, right? So the one that comes to mind, and of course the one everybody's been talking about, is We're Home, which lets you activate 2 of your yellows and a vehicle. Given that, I'm not dismissing that that's strong, but again, it's not recursion. This is not a Sabine level type thing, and I think it's even less than a CAD, because again, it's not consistently repeatable. So this guy is, it is concerning. I think this guy is pretty well above curve. Especially, I think he's above curve ignoring his power action, and then we throw the power action on there. I think he's well above curve, and I would be shocked if we don't see a ton of Dash and Han opening weekend, because the aforementioned cards that we already talked about, you add that in with Mean Streets, right? Mean Streets is still a battlefield, it's still standard legal. You add in Hyperspace Escape or Hyperjump Escape, or I don't know, whatever hyperspace, right? It's the one where you have to spot a vehicle to do it in the round. This is a scary deck. I think that, you're I already think, and I don't think I'm alone in this, that 10-13 transformations Han probably shouldn't have been costed 10-13. We've been saying that since day one, and he's continued to dominate. So the fact that you have Dash Rendar, who I think is above curve, compared with a character that I think even the people who don't want to admit it think he's above curve on Han. So you've got 2 above characters who can ambush in, hit, and get out. I mean, that's rough. Now, the flee the scene thing, I've heard some people talk about flee the scene. Now, flee the scene, that's an interesting one, because the way the flee the scene reads is, right, remove the 2 dice, then you must pass your next 2 turns this round. So technically, because you are giving it ambush, you don't have to, right, it's not you pass your next 2 actions, it's pass your next 2 turns. So you can actually give flee the scene ambush and then do something else on that, because remember, you're doing actions within your turn, right? So you would get another action within your current turn, and then you'd have to pass your next 2 turns. So I don't know if that's like a thing that, like, I mean, I guess you can like remove 2 dice and then get a shot off, I guess, or something, or maybe remove more. I mean, I guess you actually, well, no, because flee the scene stacks, right? So if you deja vu flee the scene, because that has come up before, then you have to pass, but you generally want to do that in a claim, right? Because that'd be killer. So yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, it is something that people have talked about, and they also pointed that out as a worry. I don't personally think that's a huge one, but either way, we're kind of going down the rat hole. We're definitely going down the rat hole with this. I do think this is a deck to be concerned about, especially with the mean streets portion on there, and I mean with the 2-2-2-2, 2-2-2-1-2, and then Hans dice, like, you have a pretty reasonable chance of winning your roll off. So I don't know what win meaning that you can get to battlefield. So all right, so let's go ahead and skip ahead to Outrider. So this is Dash Rendar's ship from Shadows of the Empire, which is an official thing anymore, I guess, right? So anyway, 4 cost support vehicle for 3 gun, 2 discard, 2 resource, special. After you activate this support, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Place one of those cards in the bottom of your deck, and then add the other card to your hand. So at a minimum, it's card draw. At a very minimum, it's card draw. Special, play the bottom card of your deck for free, or resolve one of your other dice without removing it from your pool, right? So this is an after you activate ability. You get to put a card on the bottom of your deck that you have a, at minimum, 33% chance of playing for free. Yeah, so that's a thing. Yeah, and works with We're Home. You can play it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Like, I think you have to remove this die, but the problem is, there's a couple instances in which you can't. Remember, Instigate also just activates this guy. Now, in that case, you don't get your rerolls and stuff, but Outrider's a thing. Yeah, so that's pretty good, right? So I mean, let's break this. I mean, aside from just that effect and being worried about that, right? Let's break this down fundamentally, right? So Outrider. I mean, I guess the thing is with the special, Outrider can potentially pay for itself round 1, or the first turn it enters, like the first round it enters play, right? So you have a 4-drop that can potentially do more. Yeah, so I think this is a watch, I think. Let's go to the last one. So sound the horn. Include only if you have an Ewok on your team. After you play a trap, place a resource on this plot, and then action. If this plot has 3 or more resources on it, spend 3 resources and set the plot aside to add 4 set aside Ewoks to your team, then put 3 damage on each of them. So I actually think this one's really good. I do think that there's kind of a somewhat, I don't know, super high, but like I think there's a high skill cap and high situationalness on this. For first off, it's 0, right? So it's like not really hurting you that much. And then I want to add the fact that having the mission subtype is significant because of Covert mission, right? To be able to go pull some card that you want. So at the very least, like let's just pull Sawwalks, right? That was a deck flying around the last meta. Like you can just throw it in there. The traps, like there are some 0 cost traps. There's most of the others are 1. Like they're not awful, right? So I think you could do that, and you only have to play 3 traps, right, to get this ready. And then the situation in which this obviously, right? I mean, the obvious situation here in which this works for you is why I think this is good. Why I think this is good is that you don't have to pop it immediately upon playing that 3rd trap, right? You put the stuff on it, and then you can pop it when you want it. So basically, you just slow play the snot out of it, wait for your opponent to claim, pop this, you add 4 Ewok warriors, which goes indirect, 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 and then it's going to take them time to burn down those Ewoks. Even if they do have some sort of AoE, area of effect, right, basically can blast everybody on the board, like a sonic detonator or something like that, even if they do have that, you're probably going to get one pop off. And, it's eating that die. Well, if it's eating AoE, I mean, I guess you're taking it anyway, but, if they do start popping off your Ewoks, they're spending dice to do that. So, like, I realize they only have 1 health apiece, and do note for tiebreakers, these guys would actually stay in, right? They're not removed from play, so they would actually stay in. That actually, like, you pop this, you immediately give your opponent 12 health on the tiebreaker, so that's not irrelevant. But my point is, right, you have 4 Ewoks out there with 1 health, but, like, they spend a 1 or a 2 to pop that guy. They just took 1 or 2 away from one of your other characters. So I think this is good. Now, you obviously have to build around it, and it's situational, and you have to play it correctly, but, like, I think this is pretty decent. So I think it'll be interesting to see, what some of our other players can do with this. It doesn't really interest me necessarily, because, Sawwalks, like, I know that's really the only place I can think of it right now. But I guess you could do, like, a Wicket deck, but probably you just throw a bunch of traps in instead of trying to do the recycles, because Wicket's just not very good, right? So, yeah, but that's I don't know. That's it for Sound the Horn. So yeah, and then that's it. Again, I want to thank Hyperloops for the Hyperloops. I watch your cast, from time to time. Certainly watch this one. Always good advice there. Joe's insight on cards and value is always much appreciated. And then Tiny, it was great to see you back, man. So those are our spoilers. Very exciting, marching towards the release of A Renewed Hope. We will see you when Dice Commando gets their spoilers. And if nothing else, guys, go Commando.